everybody, this is Jason from Mountain State Overland. This is Adventure Talk, and we've got a couple of guests with us today. We've got Casey with Georgia Bushcraft and Griffin Pocket Tool.
What's up, guys?
We've got Matt Akenhead with Blue Ridge Overland Gear. What's up, Matt?
Hello.
And we've got Ben Knight. You guys may have recognized him in his obscenities in Gabby's vehicle as we traveled through Canada last season.
Obscenities? I don't know if there were any. There may have been a few. There might have been a couple there.
So how's it going, Ben?
Going good, man. Going well. Just kind of relaxing for the evening here. Ready to talk about some stuff.
You're ready to talk about some stuff. Well, this is the first attempt to do this, so it could be a total failure, but we're going to put it on YouTube anyway. All right?
Sounds good.
I'm excited to be a part of a first YouTube fail. This will be great.
Love YouTube fails.
As we can tell, we're all working on our individual sets here. Casey's found some nice flowers for a backdrop.
I thought I'd get a little fancy, just to show what Georgia Bushcraft and everything that's happened down in the dirty South is all about, man.
So tell us a little bit about who you are.
So my name's Casey, and I am the owner of Griffin Pocket Tool. It's a keychain multi-tool I designed. You may have seen it on Kickstarter. We've been around for 4 or 5 years now. And I'm also director of Georgia Bushcraft. Oh, there's Griffin Pocket Tool. And Georgia Bushcraft is a outdoor education company-ish. Basically, we host events on our property that are kind of focused on self-reliant outdoorsman, camper, anything from the primitive and traditional skills all the way to, high-end overlanding. So, I mean, we had Jason down, and Matt's been down a few different times too, as vendors and instructors. And so we have people that come from all over the country to come down and learn and hang out here. But yeah, that's kind of a quick synopsis of the two things that I do. I'm also super, I don't know the right word, I don't lose my mind. We just had we have a 4-week-old, a 4-year-old. We just finished building our new house, and we had our 2019 gathering last weekend. So all in the past 2 months, things have been going out of control. So if you see like random children, jumping at me or chickens running around, don't worry. Everything's under control. So
how was the gathering last weekend?
It was good. We had a really good turnout. We changed some things up this year. Usually we have admission, and this is our first year of kind of doing a membership program, which traditionally we've been doing this since 2012, and this is basically since 2012 we've been having 2 events a year, so a spring and a fall gathering, and this is our first year of just doing one gathering, so we kind of focused everything all into one event, and it went great. I mean, we had a little bit less attendance based on the fact people don't really understand the whole membership thing. They're like, what am I signing up for? What kind of member? What the heck is this thing? So with that, but we still had a couple hundred people out here versus back in the fall. We had about 400. So, but we're planning another event, which is also part of the membership, which is going to be this fall, probably end of September, whenever Overland Expo East isn't, which is going to be a trade weekend. So it's like a gathering where we don't have a lot of classes or anything like that. Hey, Matt. But it's kind of like a bushcraft camping flea market. So that's coming up. I'm thinking end of September, whenever it's not like boiling hot here in Georgia, but maybe not as many hurricanes running through. So we'll see. I don't know. It'll be good either way.
Awesome, Casey. I'm feeling a little bit like the odd duck out here. I'm the only one that hasn't been down for a gathering yet.
Dude, you got to come down, man. It's a lot of fun. I mean, talk to the Southern Expedition guys and Matt and Jason. We have fun down here. It's very family friendly, but we also like to relax and have a good time. So, and this is Emma, my 3-year-old daughter. I told you, no promises. But Emma, go catch the chickens. Go get Cluck Norris. Go get a chicken, bring it back. Go get them. They're right there. She's better at catching. The 3-year-old is better at catching chickens than I am. Yes, they're all by their own. Go get them. Attack.
I surprised them.
Yes, you surprise them. Anyways, I guess the chickens think like, she's more on their size, and I don't know. They listen to her like a chicken wizard. But yeah, Ben, you got to come down, man. We're gonna have a lot of fun these next few years. Try to get a little bit back into overlanding stuff. We didn't do as much this year, just because we kind of had a focus on getting back to kind of where we started, like the bushcraft and self-reliant type stuff. But we intend on mixing it up a little bit in the future and pulling that kind of topic back into what we do. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, for people who don't know you, we've been working with Blue Ridge Overland Gear for a long time, since you were in your garage building stuff, right?
So I'm Matt. Obviously, Blue Ridge Overland Gear is the project that I administrate most days. We build equipment. Typically, we build around stuff, vehicles, fridges, cooking, I don't know, all kinds of different things. We make a lot of accessory stuff, cut sew things. New and exciting. I don't know what we have new and exciting. Probably most new and exciting stuff going on. We're doing some EDC stuff this year, some different bags going to come out this summer. Kind of excited about that project. Maybe we'll have some ready for West. We'll see how all that goes. Been actually working on some backpacks and some range bags. We'll see how those turn out as we kind of move down the line here. But that's kind of what the initial upcoming stuff looks like. We do a big flea market in the fall too, which is a pretty good time.
So we've got you,
not big, but good sized flea market. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we've got you and Casey both on the show here with us. There's a pretty distinct line that connects bushcraft with overlanding in your shop in particular, right, Matt?
I mean, certainly we have a lot of crossover stuff, and I think Casey is certainly, we have a lot of the same customers. If that's what you're where you're headed, it's sort of a lot of the same stuff. We build a lot of outdoor camping kind of gear.
I would have to say I'm probably your biggest customer, because every time you ever roll up to any event, I just happen to be the one that has to bum rush you and buy all your shit before everybody else, because it sells out too quick, man. I can't get enough. I think I owe you more than a few Griffins too, with some
I appreciate
Blue Ridge
that.
Overland gear.
Certainly, I'm not short on pocket tools at the moment, but I appreciate that. Yeah.
Man, no worries, man. I on a personal level, I mean, all of my vehicles and pretty much all of my kits are made using your bags. See, it's funny, like Georgia Bushcraft and Griffin are two totally different things, but that kind of work together. But Griffin specifically on the EDC world, like the everyday carry side of things, I mean, your organizers are perfect for the things that I carry every day, man. Like I'm all about fiddling with a different EDC bag or throwing different gear in there. I'm mostly like you guys, being a gear whore more or less, but like having the right organizer to be able to have the right things, I think you really did a good job of the real estate and how you make your packs, man. They're really popular, and they transcend both this everyday carry and into this bushcraft world. So definitely a good fit.
Yeah, we've incorporated Blue Ridge Overland Gear in just about every build that we've ever done before, including a project that Ben's working on, or is in the process of filming. Actually, we won't get into too much detail about specifically what he's building, but Ben, can you give us kind of a high-level overview of what you're working on?
So we're building, right now I've been building a truck. Can't really say much about it, but I'm really excited about it. I think it's cool. We've got something that comes in at a more, I guess the word is realistic budget level to what the average everyday overlander is kind of trying to work within. We sort of, you know, dialed it back a bit and kind of assessed what vehicle gives you the most bang for your buck in a used market, and what parts are available for that vehicle, sort of to build it into a good off-road rig that you can also use to go on adventures and do some camping and have a good time in, that maybe won't break the bank so much.
So you said, I think I heard you say budget. What is your budget for this build?
So our budget for the build that we're working within is somewhere in the vicinity of $5,000.
Wow. Yeah. Well, that'll be kind of interesting to see how that all works out, considering how much
Yeah,
money you can dump into.
it was definitely aggressive, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, we'll be working on that, and I think we're scheduled to release that maybe around Overland Expo. We've definitely got some new products coming to market in that show that complement that $5,000 budget. So going to be kind of entertaining. I haven't seen any of the footage yet, and you've still got some work you're working on, but it's going to be fun to kind of give that to people as an option to get into this crazy like wallet eating lifestyle that we all live in here. So
Oh, for sure. I'm real excited to myself see what the final product ends up looking like.
Matt, I think I saw you too on social media. You picked up a new truck as well,
I did. Uh, yeah,
Yeah, Matt.
I did.
What'd you get, Matt?
I got a Land Rover. I got a Land Rover. Yeah, I got a Series 2 Disco Series 2, whatever. Yeah. Yeah,
What brought that
2003.
on?
I accidentally bought at a farm equipment auction. What was that?
I said, what brought that on? What made that
I
happen?
actually bought it. Yeah, well, so it was at a farm equipment auction. This is kind of entertaining. And I was there to buy a manure spreader and a 7-foot finish mower. And between the manure spreader and the finish mower happened to be this Land Cruiser, Land Rover, because I normally drive a Land Cruiser. I apologize. My 80 series is crying in the background. I don't know if you can hear it. It's teared up quite a bit since I got it. But yeah, so it was at this auction, and nobody appeared to be bidding on it. So I lost my mind and leapt into action, and now I'm the proud owner of a Disco.
Peter would be
we'll see how
proud.
that goes.
Kelly.
Did you are you gonna modify it at all and do anything with it?
My concern is that my 80 would be jealous, and I don't think I can do much to it. I would feel bad for her, and because any money I'm putting into that, I'm not putting into her, and she really needs the work. So when it push comes to shove, the Toyota probably gets my affection.
Yeah,
But if you're interested, I'd sell it to you.
Yeah, you probably make him a pretty good deal on it, couldn't you?
I probably would, yeah.
I certainly have a tendency to have an affinity for the unique and different. We'll talk later.
So speaking of hoopty rides,
Yeah.
and
I've heard rumors.
I got an idea for something that I've been thinking about. So forever, my wife has been driving a 2001 Subaru Outback sedan, the limited, and so we just bought her a new car, and this car is like worth, I don't know, sub $1,000, and so I've been really thinking about doing this like rally cross or whatever with it, and like on like the cheap, you know what I mean? Instead of just like getting rid of it, I feel like we could do something fun with it, at least out here. So what's y'all's opinion on, I don't know, decking out this little piece of shit Subaru Outback, or should I just get rid of it and keep the '87 XJ over here as my hoopty ride?
Well, I'm going
Should
to talk
I?
before Ben will jump in because I know Ben really wants to have this conversation with you. But they have isn't the Gambler 500?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So
Yeah.
they do that here on the East Coast. Did they do that in Tennessee last year? Where was
I
that?
don't.
The Gambler 500 is in it's in Washington, I believe, Washington State.
Well, there was talk about it actually. One of its venues coming to the East Coast, I thought. But talking them into getting something out here on the East Coast that we could all build really cheap. I think the budget on that's like $500.
It is. I think it
Yeah,
is. Yeah. So, all right.
Jack and Yellow love.
it's like a $500 purchase price for the vehicle.
Yeah. So Ben would support your rally ambitions, I'm sure, to build a Subaru.
I will always support rally ambitions. Let me tell you, man, if you want to take that thing and do some rallycross, there's no better way than to throw some snow tires on it and take it to a local rallycross event with like SCCA. You guys have a good chapter down there, I think. And
Yeah.
and you just enter it in stock class and just send it. The thing is
Just send
it's
it.
so much fun, and people
Send it.
take those Outbacks and they just absolutely go for it. It is more fun per dollar. It's like $50 to $75 an event, and you can't go wrong, man. It's a good time.
I think we need to do like a Griffin, Pocketville, Georgia Bushcraft, MSO, Blue Ridge, Overland Gear, like a big meetup, and we all just need to buy some shitty vehicles and just send it. I mean, I think that sounds like really good content to me. I don't know about you guys, and a fun time.
Yeah,
Um,
they do that in Nebraska. It's called a demolition derby.
I mean,
They use
we got
combines in
enough.
Nebraska though.
Yeah.
We have plenty of room in the field. I mean, I'm telling you, we got like 70 acres, so we can we just go to town. We just start smashing shit up. So let me know when you guys are available. We'll plan it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
let me know. I'm game.
loads of bush lights and really shitty cars involved with those. So that sounds like a lot of fun.
May or may not be some moonshine involved too. I don't know. I mean, we'll have a good
Well,
time with
You're
it.
talking my language now.
Yeah. Well, let's
We
shift
have a
gears
good.
here. Let's shift gears real quick. I know we're kind of all in the essence of time here. We got family to get back to, and we don't want to bore everybody to death here on YouTube as much as we could probably sit here and talk, even though we talked like 30 minutes before we even started recording this. So, so we talked about kind of what's next. Matt, do you got anything kind of coming to market that you want to talk about, or you've had in development that might be coming to market?
Yeah, like I said, mostly it's been EDC stuff. Mostly some everyday carry stuff that we're going to be releasing here. Like I said, some of it'll be West time frame, some will be shortly after that. We're actually building a new website that will launch probably in May.
Exciting.
Not that that's coming to market, but we're kind of excited about that project and trying to keep up with that.
Yeah, absolutely. How about you, Casey? What do you got coming down the pipe?
Man, I got too much stuff. We're working on a few different designs. We've been working on the Griffin rescue tool for, I don't know, 100 years. And so once we kind of get that thing like where it needs to be, we'll have that. We're also doing it like a 2.0 version. So taking, the past over 4 years worth of suggestions and like, man, I really wish this tool had this, and putting all that together and gonna release a 2.0. And then with that, I mean, we've got Blade Show, which is coming up this year, so we'll be at that. We just pulled in some new Cerakoted colors. You should find those on our website. We did a camo, which is kind of cool. It's not, I don't know, it's a little tactical for me, but people really like it. And outside of that, not much. With the Bushcraft, we've got some really cool things. We discussed with some companies at this past gathering that are kind of proprietary to that. So we'll be releasing that a little bit. I can't say too much yet until it actually happens, but so that's about it for me, man. Just trying to plan events and get some new variants of the stuff we've been doing since forever. So
Yeah, I hear you, man. Well, that's all good to hear. We thought we'd take this kind of another direction here real quick. We get lots of questions on YouTube as Matt does with his YouTube channel, and Casey's done through social media and things too, and he's even got some videos out there. Um, I guess the question that kind of is always fun to answer without really touting our YouTube channels individually, but one question we got says, I know you guys make YouTube videos, but what channels do you watch? Matt, what do you watch?
Uh, I, I honestly don't watch a whole lot of anything, TV or otherwise, I guess. If I do have time, other than MSO, I'll exclude that. But mostly because I like to see myself in the videos. But Chris Shantz is probably my my favorite regular. Chris does some entertaining stuff, and I just enjoy his sense of humor and kind of the way he lives is always fun.
Yeah, I'd agree with
Which is
that.
venture by what is it? Venture off road, venture 4x4. Chris Shantz, he's the king, man.
Yeah. Well, we've had Chris a couple times, like really early on. It's Venture Four Wheel Drive. That's his show. Yeah, Chris is a super
Yeah,
guy.
that's it.
Yeah.
And
What
Trail
about you?
Recon, I recently started watching the Trail Recon guy.
Yeah. What about you, Ben?
I'm a combination of things. I really like there's a series from a couple of guys in Australia. I think it's called All Four Off Road. They're really good. Hey, Casey's got a chicken. Um,
one of our
I
babies flew
really
out
like.
here.
I'm a really big fan of actually. It's not necessarily Overland specific, but for automotive things, there's a series of guys that do a show or a series called VinWiki, and there's a lot of like cool stories, interview-driven stuff about exotic cars and things like that. And I really enjoy all the stuff they do.
Oh
All
man,
right.
it flipped too late. It flipped too late. So if you missed it, Casey was holding a chicken. Was that Cluck Norris?
No, Cluck Norris is a full size chicken. That was one of our 16 unnamed ones because who knows how many. We're gonna lose 20% of them at some point. But no, that was this little white asshole that continues to escape. Cluck Norris does not want to come over here right now. Oh, and she's like trying to feed this little chicken to our dog.
What about you? What about you and YouTube, Casey? What do you got?
YouTube, man, I don't watch too much only because I don't have a lot of connection out here, outside of like reference videos. But one channel I've always liked forever, and I haven't watched him in maybe past 6 years or so, or 6 months or so. Is a guy named Cody. His channel's Wrangler Star. Have you ever seen him before? He's got a ton of subs, but he has a really cool channel, and it mixes between like a homesteading type feel. So they live out in like Idaho, I think, like the Oregon, Idaho area. And but he recently started doing some videos of some kind of overland type stuff. I think they've got a Sprinter that they've been decking out or whatever. But outside of MSO and I just can't stop looking at Jason and Gabby and their pretty faces. I mean, YouTube anime, it's like, and maybe Matt sometimes, but
Yeah, hopefully we're going to get Matt to do this local trip that we have here planned in August. We'll talk about in future shows, but this is too close to home and too close to Matt's heart not to participate in this one. So hopefully we'll get Matt back on the show this year.
sounds
Um,
fun.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
yeah, definitely. I would say I'd have to say my top channel is the four wheel drive action guys in Australia. I thoroughly enjoy that show. They're a lot of fun. I don't know them personally, and I don't really care, but it's engaging content. It's a lot of fun, and it gets me inspired. I mean, some of the videos that we do and some of the shots that we take are inspired by some of these people that have YouTube shows. So go out and support the people that you love to watch on YouTube and keep them going. Anybody have any events they're heading to next? I mean, I guess we got Expo West coming up. Expo East is undetermined yet. Are you guys going out west?
I will not
I
be
am.
making it out there this year. Unfortunately, Matt, you're going to have a good time out there, though. Such a short drive from Virginia.
Yeah, we'll be a few minutes in the car. Yeah, me and the van will become good friends.
How many hours does it
Yeah,
take you
no,
from
we'll be
Virginia?
there for sure. I don't know. I don't even want to know.
A billion. Too many.
Yeah, I mean, you just point it west and start driving, and someday you end up there.
Ben, or you think your budget build would make it out west or what?
I think it would. I think it would probably make it. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it, but that's TBD.
Yeah.
I've got room in the
Let's
booth
see.
for you.
You what?
Do you want that?
I've got room in the booth for you if you need a space.
All right. There's potential for that to happen.
Oh gosh. Chickens and kids.
So she's chasing
Yeah.
the chicken with the freaking thing you pick up trash with, that little pincher thing. She was just chasing the chicken with it. And I was afraid that she was just going to like destroy the chicken. So I wanted to at least capture it or, yeah, anyway, sorry guys. I didn't mean to interrupt. It was a very epic fight scene going on behind the scenes here.
Epic fight
Chickens and
scene.
good.
Anything's possible, man. I apologize. This is
Who
unfortunately
cares?
what happens. So,
I don't know if anybody's gonna watch this anyway. So, so what? Who's got money in the cards for Virginia Overland Expo East? They haven't announced a location for it, but does anybody speculate that it might be a little bit further north?
I'll be there
I'm
regardless.
hoping for Virginia.
I'm hoping
Yeah,
for
I'm hoping for Virginia, man.
I would love that. That would make it actually for me being up in, Massachusetts, Boston area. That would make that like a pretty achievable trip for me.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I think they're holding on to releasing the venue, I guess, time, which probably is sometime in October, but they're holding on to releasing the venue location until probably Expo West is over and people, in typical fashion for Overland Expo, I think that's how they release the locations.
Let's hope for Virginia, man.
Yeah, fingers crossed for Virginia.
That's right.
We've worked really hard over the last 6 years to make Virginia and West Virginia and Appalachia a destination for this. They've been in North Carolina and they've been soaked every year. Last year was a mud bath, was beyond a mud bath. But hopefully there's gravel and hard surface in the future for Overland Expo.
Man, I don't know. I mean, I really enjoyed fishing river rocks that are like big as my torso out of the river all weekend, so people could stand in front of my booth.
You had like a river. You had a river going through your booth.
There were multiple people who lost both sets of shoes attempting to walk to my booth. Like just they were eaten into the earth. So I cannot imagine the conversation they had with the property owners during and or after that event. So
Well,
regardless,
the social media was fun to watch after the show for sure. But hey, that's part of it. That's part of it.
It was good.
So
I had
it's
a good time.
Yeah, it's a great time. I mean, it was frozen mud too. It was wet mud and frozen mud and dry a little bit in places. But we'll see. Let's hope for Virginia. So we're going to wrap things up here. And I don't know. I mean, This was totally winging it. We had some sort of plan for this. Ben, what do you think we should talk about next time?
Oh man, next time. I don't know. We could talk about beer. I like beer.
Hey, I was going to say, let's talk about how to
I-
make moonshine.
Oh, I love that
Down.
plan.
See, now you're headed to the south. I think that's the problem. Ben's too far north.
I think we should
I'm
have.
from the land of good beer, man.
I think we should have.
We're in the land of good
different
shine,
drinks.
so
And we
Jason,
can
you would be
virtually-
happy.
I
We-
could I
we-
could I
we
could
had
set
a
up some sort of
homebrew
a
plan.
I could set up some sort of a trade deal here. Next time I come down, I'll bring down some North Country beer.
Yes, man. We did. We had a home brewing class at this gathering. That was a
Oh,
first
that's
for us.
awesome.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, you think bushcraft, you totally think, how to make your own beer, right? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So we have a 5-gallon batch sitting in the barn right now. I probably should go get of our bushcraft beer. So
Wow, man.
I see what you did there.
I see what you did.
dad joke.
I am in total support of a virtual taste test for our next episode of Adventure
I like
Talk.
that plan.
Well, guys, thanks for joining. We'll let us get back to our families and the kids in Cluck Norris there down in Georgia. We'd like to thank first Casey with Georgia Bushcraft and Griffin Pocket Tool and Matt with Blue Ridge Overland Gear. Thanks for coming. It's always nice to have you to have a virtual conversation, even if we can't get a hold of each other on the phone. Of course, Ben, thanks for joining us here. We'll probably have you back here next week. And thanks to OK 4-Wheel Drive, Cooper Tire, Adventure Imports, Midland USA for our comms, Garmin Outdoors. Pretty excited to be working with Garmin this year, and BlueJeans for our virtual chat room that we've got here. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave your comments below and let us know what you want us to talk about next week. Have a good
Thanks
one.
for having me. See you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for having me.
Fly beauty, head in the clouds, feet on the ground. But I ain't complaining and I damn sure ain't too proud. I'm just a